Hey, welcome everybody. I thought today I'd give you a tour of the house. We've had a lot of people ask to see what the inside of our RV looks like. So let me walk you around the outside of our trailer a little bit, and then I'll take you inside and show you what it's all about. So she's a 2017 Forest River Sandpiper fifth wheel, just shy of 42 feet long. Good size with 5 slide outs. And yes, that is a sliding glass door. Works out really well for Emma. We have her doggy ramp there. And since she's getting old, it helps us get her into the house a little more easily. There's our roof ladder and our flagpole. 50 amp. We do have 2 air conditioners, a 15,000 in the main living area and a 13,500 BTU in the bedroom that we never use because it's too noisy and we find generally we don't need it. There's our little generator. We love that thing. This is the little generator that could. We'll do a whole review on this sometime for you guys, but we have been impressed. We love it. This is on the driver's side. This is all of our controls for cable TV, which we no longer have, but if we go into a park that has cable, we still have that available. Bypass to winterize, fresh water fill, city water fill, winterizing, black tank flush, which is nice. That cleans the black tank out. Our dump valves, a whole house filter, and then our outdoor shower with hot water. And we just have this quick connect hose that just plugs right in. And we have another receptacle like this just outside the entry door, so we have it on both sides. And then here is our auto level system, which again is amazing. We love it. So basically you just drop the front jacks, take the trailer off the truck, hit auto level, and the little computer does all the rest. Our jacks are a hydraulic system, which everybody says is better than battery. This was where our house battery was. We use it for an archery target now. It just rides in there. We boondocked with this rig for almost a year without doing anything to it. Just used it stock. And then we've just recently added solar to it, which is, we're going to do another video on that. It's going to be called Solar, How Not to Do It. Anyways, there's our propane, 2 30-pounders. Okay, and here's our battery compartment and the nose of the fifth wheel. This used to be storage. Now it houses 8 6-volt batteries. That's a huge jump from the 112 volt we've been operating with for the last 8 months. And then we're hoping at some point put some angle iron right in there and a shelf, and at least be able to recoup some of the storage space and still be able to get to the batteries to check the water and so forth when we need to. But so that's the new batteries. Isn't it pretty? There's Bubba. Just be glad it's his face that's on the glass and not the other end. And then this thing's jam-packed full, but this is our pass-through basement. We did mount an outdoor TV, which we use occasionally. It's a little dirty right now. We've been in a lot of really dusty places. And then it's not rolled out at the moment, but we have an awning. It starts right next to the sliding glass door, comes all the way down to between the hallway window and the bedroom window. Now, if there's one thing I would change, and Bubba, this irritates him every time we sit outside, if we'd change about this rig is there's where the awning ends, and there's our basement doors. And that's where the outside TV is. So if we want to sit out here during the afternoon and watch some TV or something, and there's a shadow from the sun, or it's just hot or whatever, we can't sit under the awning because it doesn't come out far enough. So that's one thing we would change about this if we had any say in it. All right, let's take you inside.
You want me to hold it while you walk around and talk?
Say hi to everyone. Bubba's snacking. We've had a long 2-hour drive. Haven't eaten since when?
Midnight last night.
Don't believe him. He ate this morning. But it has been a long time. It's 5:30. It's time for dinner. But first, let's show you around. Grab a drink and come along. So the first thing you see when you walk through the front door is this big, beautiful kitchen. It's really nice in that there's a lot of counter space, plenty of room to prepare food. There is room around the stove to work. I've seen some RVs that the walls are right up on the edges of the stove. This one you have a little space for your handles to your pots and pans. Tons of storage. This is the bar. That's probably the most important cupboard. Bought these little containers that help hold everything in place when we travel because some of the stuff wanted to walk around a bit. For the most part, everything rides really well. Our glasses, the only thing that falls over in here are our water bottles. But other than that, all the glasses ride well just on their own. We have this wonderful residential fridge. The downside, it's electric only. You can't run it off of propane. So if you're boondocking, you've got to manage your batteries because it's a kind of a power sucker. But it can be done. You can boondock with a single house battery and this refrigerator. We've been doing it for 8 months, and while we have to modify how we do things a little bit, it works out great. Double sink here on this island, but what I like to do is keep one of the sink covers on and put my little dish mat down, and it gives me room to either put the dishes to dry or some extra counter space for preparing food. And then over here we have this nice big pantry. Now if you're full timing, this is awesome. Between this and the fridge, you could probably feed a family of 5 out of this thing for 2 weeks at a time because there's so much room to store food, which is great. This one I have set up as my spices. It's right here next to the fridge, or next to the stove. So if I'm cooking and I need garlic or chili flakes or anything like that, it's all right there in arm's reach. And then since we've been boondocking more, we've gone to paper plates while we're out here, but we still have our nice traditional dinnerware too, and it all rides just fine in that cupboard. Doesn't get bounced around too badly, nothing breaks, knock wood. So it all is great. There's drawers for, you can keep our silverware organized, and cooking utensils, and just lots of room for anything we need. And then the dining room. So one of the issues we had was when the slides were in, this table sat crossways and came out towards the edge of the slide. So then when the slides were in, it was right up against the counter, and there was no room to get through without putting the slide out. You had to go around, and at least we had the second door, so you could go in the other door and get to the pantry if you needed to. So we never eat here. We eat in our chairs, we eat in front of the TV, or we eat outside in our chairs, and we don't really use this for food. So what we've done is I use it to work on the computer, and Bubba unbolted it and turned it sideways. Makes a great work area, and I can sit here and see outside while I'm working. And then we got rid of 2 of the chairs. And so now when the slide is in, we have lots of room to walk through between the table and the sink, and we can get from the front to the back of the house without having to roll out a slide. So that's made a huge difference, especially if we're trying to stealth camp somewhere. So then we go into the living room. This was another neat thing about this rig, this sliding glass door. And like I said, it's good for a dog entrance right now because her ramp can be there and we don't have to move it when we want to go in and out. But it also lets so much light in that it really opens up the space and makes it feel huge. Kind of a pain in the wintertime with all these windows if we're trying to keep it warm and it's freezing cold outside. There's a lot of glass to transfer cold, but if we're chasing 70 degrees, it's wonderful. And then this is what they call a rear den. And we liked it because you have a separate living room. Most rear living rooms in a fifth wheel, you see the kitchen just kind of flows into the living room and they kind of blend together. We really liked this one because it's a separate living space. You feel like you have a kitchen and then a living room. More like what you would feel in a house. And so we have our reclining chairs. Cheers. This is where we spend most of our time if we're inside the house, is right here. These are comfortable. We've got drink holders that we use more to hold remote controls than we do drinks. And the big cushy comfy chairs. Bubba does a lot of sleeping in his. And then the 2 couches. Both couches fold out into queen size beds. And then over here we have the TV on a lift. So when we're traveling or if we want our back window, it just goes down. Or at Christmas time, we use this to put our little Christmas tree and all the presents on it. And then we have our sound bar, surround sound speakers in the ceiling, and then our fireplace. Now right now we're boondocking, so the way we're set up, we can't turn the fireplace on right now, but when we go in, say to do a work camping job and we're in an RV park and we have full hookups, we run the fireplace quite a bit. It's nice for the ambiance, but it also puts out a good amount of heat in the wintertime. Does a good job of taking the chill off the room. And then the ceiling fan. And this is another thing we love. We use the ceiling fan a lot just for circulating the air. On a hot day, it moves the warm air out, pulls a nice breeze through the room, and you can reverse it. So in the wintertime, you can use it to push the warm air down into the living room and help keep the warm air down here where we are instead of up here against this tall ceiling. All right, let's go into the bedroom. All right, so in here, pretty standard bedroom. It's a king size bed, residential king, not an RV king. A lot of RV mattresses that you see, they're 6 inches shorter than a standard queen or king size mattress. This one's full length, full width. So it's a residential king bed, which is really nice. Gives us lots of room to sprawl out. Little built-in cubbies on the wall over there. Great place for the remotes or an alarm clock. And then we have the comforter pulled up over them, but there are 2 little nightstands on either side. We have a memory foam mattress topper on this that's pretty thick, so it brings the comforter up over the top of those little nightstands, but they're still there to use at night if we want them. And then nice good sized TV, and we put our DVD player, we put our Blu-ray player in here. Nice sized dresser. These drawers are deep, and they're also fairly deep front to back. You can fit 2 rows of t-shirts in them or something like that. They hold a lot of clothes, which is really nice. And finally, we have the closet. They've given us a lot of closet space. This closet goes from this wall to this wall, full width. And then come on in here. So we have shelves built into the back of the closet, which is great for extra clothes storage, along with all the hanging space. And you can't see them, but buried in the back, behind that bag right there, we have washer dryer hookups and an electrical outlet for a washer dryer. We don't have one in here now because we wanted the closet space, and the RV washer dryers, from everything we've been told, they take a lot of water, a lot of energy, and a lot of time to do a load. So we're happy just whenever we're in a town, we stop in, hit the local laundromat, do all of our dirty clothes, and then we have that extra storage space, and it's worked out well for us so far. And finally, we have the bathroom. This was another thing we really liked, is it's a good sized bathroom. It's not huge, but it's plenty big enough. Pretty standard. Toilet, nice big basin here. Lots of room. You can get in there and wash your hands, wash your face. There's room to put a few things around the sink. Nice sized medicine cabinet. We bought these little plastic containers at Target just to put the small stuff in so it doesn't roll around when we're on the road. And then both of us are tall. Bubba's about 6'2". I'm about 5'10", and we have lots of overhead space in the shower. The skylight helps, but even without it, you can see there's a lot of overhead room in here. And that's one thing we couldn't find in just any RV. Some of them, poor Bubba would stand in the shower and he'd have to hunch over like this. And so that overhead room is nice. It's about 4 feet long. So there's lots of room to move around. You don't feel cramped or confined. And we have a 10-gallon hot water heater. So we have plenty of hot water to take a nice long shower. Now, out here boondocking, that doesn't happen because we're in water conservation mode and we're taking prison baths. But if we're in an RV park, we can take pretty much as long a shower as we want, which is really nice. All right, that concludes our tour of our RV. Hopefully you found it at least somewhat interesting. And if you have any questions, anything we didn't cover in the video, leave it in the comments below or send us an email and we'll be happy to answer whatever questions you have. On our next video, we're going to jump back into a time warp and go back to Michigan, and we're going to take you to Mackinac City, where we report in for our first work camping job. Hope to see you all there, and thank you everybody for watching so much. We appreciate it. Bye-bye.